you like the French horn, this video is for you. Today we're going to show you how to properly oil the valves and put tuning slide grease on all of your slides. All right, so to begin with, we're going to depress the valves and we're going to pull the slides out here. You want to pull them straight out. You don't want to do a twisting motion. You're going to get a clean paper towel or some kind of cloth. You want to lay your slides on it. All right. Now, start with the valves here. You're going to take off the valve cap. We're going to do one at a time so you don't get the parts confused. So take off one valve cap. You're going to take your rotor oil. And then when you push down your valve, see how that's spinning right there? You're going to put the oil right on the valve at the bearing plate right there. All right, there you go. Now we're back here, we're just going to put a little of the bearing oil on the linkage for the lever. Good. We're going to flip it over. And on the back here, I'm going to put a little bit on the linkage arm. And then right underneath the stop arm, which is right there. So you want to get a little bit of oil right in there. All right, then you want to work the valve a little bit. Good. All right, now the next step is going to be to take valve oil and you're going to make sure you're in the right slide for the valve. Squirt a little bit in there, work the valve again. Oh, I guess we'll leave that up. All right. Then we want to put the valve cap back on. All right, now we're going to move on to valve 2. Now the reason for 2 different valve oils is the bearing oil is thicker, so it's going to last a lot longer. And it cuts down on the noise. All right, so flip it back over here underneath the stop arm. On the linkage. Valve oil down the slide legs. We're gonna get a little closer here just to show you the parts up close now on the 3rd valve. There's the valve cap coming off. All right, here is the valve going through the bearing plate. Oil on that. And then right next to the spring, on either edge of the spring, that's where you get the oil for the lever. All right, and then when we flip it over, the stop arm is this little guy right here. So when you push your valve down, it's the part that's spinning back and forth. And then you're gonna wanna put the oil right underneath there in the gap. And then for the linkages, just wanna go right underneath them. And then for the valve oil, you're gonna take your valve oil and you're just gonna put a couple drops down in there. You don't wanna go overkill on that, just a couple little drops will be fine. Right now we are gonna move on to the tuning slides. So we're gonna wipe off the slides, make sure there's nothing on them. You want to use a clean cloth or a paper towel to wipe the legs off. All right. Gonna use some tuning slide grease. I'm gonna get a little bit on your finger. Gonna put it on all the way around the slide. You want to make sure you get all the different sides of it. Good. You want to depress the valve. You want to work that slide in and out. That way you're making sure the slide grease is getting the entire length of the slide. Same thing for the second slide. All right, and lastly, just in case your French horn looks a little different, there's two different kinds of linkages. You have the mechanical, which is what is on this French horn. So it has a little arm that goes across. And the other one is a string linkage. So you can see right here, it still has the arm that goes across, but it is attached with a string. So to oil this guy, it's going to be the exact same way. You're going to take off the cap, put your oil on the bearing plate. You want to get your oil on the levers, and then this time all you need to do is put the oil right at the edge of that arm right there, and then same right underneath the stop plate, or the stop arm, sorry. All right, that's how you fix up your French horn.